Hello guys, and welcome back to another one. The start of what could possibly be the last ever FIA season. Who knows? The game is getting close to coming to an end and people moving on. We have went for Dodge this season. This is our first try at round 1. Let's hop on board as we start the race. We were ever so excited as well in this race because it's Super GT, the man himself. If you haven't heard of him, where have you been? But yes, Super GT had turned up. It must have went all wrong for him in qualifying, as he's qualified away at the back. Eighth position for us at the moment. Compulsory tyre in this one was the mediums. I think the majority of people, at my level certainly anyway, I believe top split, a lot of them ended up doing a no stopper on the medium tyres. Very, very good in order to be able to do that on your tyres. Myself, we tested it once and it felt horrible. Those last 3 or 4 laps you just would have been gobbled up by any wee group or pack behind you, and if you were trying to hold them up, they'd have started getting a wee bit frustrated. Wee bit of entertainment going up. In front of us is James. Gets a move done on Prima Ozil. And our strategy is the same as it has been. We want to try to hang about in these competitive lobbies as long as we can, as we try to sneak one up the inside. A very opportunistic move, and we've made it stick. It was a nice move there. Although we now have pressure on the ass area, when there's no one immediately on the ass area, it is much easier to drive your own race. Thoroughly enjoyed this whole day. We've done a live stream, and as well as Super GT, we've ended up, Jeff has hopped into one of our lobbies for a wee bit of a practice and all before the race. That was brilliant. Hugh Hatrick hopped on to say hello, and we played spin to win and got Hugh a fabulous prize. And we also had a race with Rory and Ali. It's just the good times just did not end here. We did have to have quite a few tries at it, but this one was looking pretty good. We wanted 200 points as our target, and then we're happy to stop unless it was a particularly poor race, and I feel like there's a lot more in it for us. And the top 9 here, I believe, in this first attempt is what we were after. Threatening ever so slightly to drop out of that slipstream. I feel most guys, if you weren't on a no stopper, it was definitely the best way to go to start on the medium tyres, as you'd have stole a wee bit of extra speed from anybody on the softs, and it was a very, very hard track to pass on, as Prima Ozil gives us a lovely wee kiss in the bump, communicating with us, letting us know, we don't want it, sir, you hit your own line and don't worry about me. Nice driving, sir, although he is deciding this time to show us no, he's tucked back in. And we do not like that huge pressure on the ass area. As we say, we're always looking for a wee gap, so we'll be looking behind us here, and we'll see that there's a wee penalty on behind him. If he does get a run on us anywhere at all, we are not here to race. Not now, sir. Not until later on, perhaps lap 20, 21, we might start to feel okay, we want a bit of a race. So we're half hoping here. The guy clearly has pace, and we're losing that slip. We quite politely, I think, ask him to climb aboard the rocket launcher at some point, and we use him as our very own personal weapon. Point him at that wee group in front and set the man free. He clearly has more pace. He's just unfortunate at the moment. He hasn't managed to get any kind of a run on us. And there's still a nice wee group. Again, he gives us a nice wee nudge in the rear, and we pull off the line and lift and let him have it, and we'll release his speed and release the pressure from our ass, because we all know that too much pressure on the ass area can make you shit your pants, and we certainly did not want an underpant department incident there. And we'll nicely repay the favour, letting them know, communicating on the track that we don't want it. A nice wee lift well before he has to hit his braking area, so as he sees he's backing off and he doesn't feel like we're forcing him to leave his braking really late. Our strategy in this was to start on the mediums. 11 or 12 laps we wanted on the mediums. We had tested it and felt slightly better at the end of the race. You can get a really good jump on people if you come in on lap 10 a couple of laps early, but those last 2 or 3 laps then are very hard on the tyres. A lot of time lost. I think unless you had incredible pace about you in this one, you would have started on the mediums if you felt like you were way faster than other guys in the race and you were the man to beat. If you stuck it on pole, then you quite possibly could have started on softs and just used your speed to run away with it. But you do need to have a lot of speed in order to do that. Starting on the mediums allowed you to do a longer stint on the softs, as you had got rid of half of your fuel. We were struggling to do 8-9 laps on a set of softs whenever we started on them. We were losing time on lap 8 and the car starting to feel awful to drive. Whereas when you started on the mediums, you were able to get more than that 8 laps. And we're in a wee bit of a gap. Alley racing starting to come up on us a wee bit. I don't think that's the proper alley, but it's certainly an alley. We're not saying you're not proper alley, sir, or Mr. Alley Racing, but yep, I believe you're not the YouTuber Alley. We'll bump into him at a later try. And again, we're just driving, trying to avoid the penalties and keep our patience. We're looking for a top 9. We'll jump outside and go for a quick skip whilst we're here. Still in that wee bit of space, they're edging up on the back of us. And we've picked up a half-second penalty. There we go, just out wide. The memories of this one are coming back to us. Although a wee half-second penalty was not a killer. The penalty zone on this one, not really punishing compared to what it could have been. And we'll get off the racing line. You can see we don't lose much at all. We'll drop down to 2 spots, but that pressure, we've decided to jump in early too. We wanted to come in on lap 12, but we didn't want to risk getting into any kind of fun with other cars around us there. So in we came, On with a set of soft tyres. And out with a guy pretty close to us, but we are on soft tyres. If we just manage to survive the first couple of corners here, we should start having at least the same pace as him, slightly better hopefully. Yep, you can see straight away that's opened up, so our full focus is back ahead of us. A 4-letter guy ahead of us. Not sure how quick the 4-letter guys are compared to the 3-letter guys, but like we keep recommending, if you've tried, I'm going to pick up another silly half-second penalty. If you've tried absolutely everything in this game to improve and you feel like you've tapped out, there's no more speed left, and you don't know how to fix that, try adding 3 letters in front of your name. I have never seen a 3-letter guy who isn't very fast. P11 at the moment, lap 13. You can see how we're driving it slightly different. We had the brake balance 3 to the rear on the medium tyres, and we have changed it over now and we're all to the rear, 5 to the rear on the soft tyres. And if you're too hard on the brakes, the back end steps out very easily. Not necessarily if you're too hard, as long as you're in a straight line of your braking, but as soon as you want to add any steering input to the car, then you want to be trail braking, or the back end is stepping out on us. So those couple of wee half-second penalties, not losing as much, but certainly not helping us. And I do believe we might even have another. Just being caught out. A lack of patience. Outside, and there is no pressure on the outside area. We shall continue with a skip and see. We're still in that wee gap, although it is starting to look a bit entertaining up in front of us now. Was there anything else to be had that day? A nice gap at the back of us. Can't really afford to get into too much battling. We're hoping other people. We're still not ready to race, not just yet. We are wanting to be very opportunistic and 100% on our moves and stuff. If an opportunity comes up, we are trying to capitalise on it with aggression, but still placed aggression. Only at the right time. See, he wanted to go defensive there, and I was like, no, we're about, look ahead of you, those guys are pulling away. Tried to get him to miss time his braking, run a bit deep, but he's defended that quite beautifully, Mr. Tomic. And again, he's thinking about us. He really wants that top 10, whereas we would prefer him to be thinking about those other two up ahead, and him going defensive on us is bringing others behind to this particular party. And I believe it was now. Was it now? I thought to myself, we want that. We need to get the move done. We were very scared to place ourselves on the outside of them there. It seems to be with the new penalty system. The car on the outside is the one that receives the penalties. We've got a nose to the inside now. Must be wanting past them so damn much. And past the goal. Time lost. Though you can see to the bunch that we were in, and we've actually fell back. We're now in a different bunch than what we wanted to be in. Back outside for another wee skip whilst we're here. Those boys starting to With some side by sides. One behind us. Lap 19. Still on our own in that wee pocket of space. Moving up on him now. Let's jump back on board. Another wee skip. Oh, and was that? What did Mr. Turismo think of that one? Mr. Turismo thought that was legal, right? That looked like it was a wee bit wide there. Lap 21, we're still in that wee space. We'll have a flick while we can. Maybe it was there. I think we did pick up another wee half-second somewhere. And there it was indeed. And that wee half-second is just gonna, again, put us down ever so slightly. We'll stay on board now for the last two. We'll filter back in and try to cling on to the slipstream. Still a top 10 in front of us. Although if anything, it's looking like we're going to defend. We'll have the brake balance now, just because we feel like, right, we're heading backwards. We've got that reduced down now. I mean, I think it was -1, -2. I mean, just so as if we have to defend and leave the braking very late, while steering, we don't get the silly step out of the back end. Only seems to happen on us in certain cars once you go maybe 4 or 5 to the rear. And it's all about that trail braking for myself, trying to pick up on this stuff and still learning. You never stop learning, really. Wee penalty handed out up ahead. A quick skip, and there we're flashing our lights. We're saying a big hello. Why not? Last lap flashes are indeed the most powerful flashes, and that wee half-second might even bring these two into having a side by side in the last corner. Was there anything else for us that day? Too far back. It looks like we brought this one home in 11th. There you go, that was our first ever, and there in 13th place. You can see for the first time in the race, Mr. Super GT himself claimed to fame. Out qualified Mr. GT and beat him. He seemed to have had a poor one here. Maybe his car, or he's had no practice or something. But it was an absolute pleasure to see him in the room. I'll catch you next time, guys.